Hello, this is Diana, and I wanted to tell you a little about the story of Christmas. The Intergalactic Council realized that there was very little love energy on Earth and they wanted to increase it. And also, they were planning the start of the new golden age starting 2,000 years later in 2032. So they looked for a master who had already proven his worth, and they chose Jesus. Now, Jesus' grandfather was Joachim. He was the high priest of the temple of Helios, and he was an Essene and a highly evolved, very pure man. When his wife Anna gave birth to a girl, they called her Mary, and they dedicated her as a dove in the temple. Now, this meant that she would be kept very pure. In fact, she was only allowed to walk on a white cloth for the first 4 years, as her feet mustn't touch the earth as a symbol of her purity. She also received huge cosmic awareness training in the temple. And so Mary was a highly evolved girl who had mystic visions and who was clearly very pure and prepared for a great future. And she gave virgin birth to Jesus. The birth took place in one of the Essene grottos. It was much later that the church fathers decided to call it a manger. The grottos had 10 to 20 rooms. They were dry, they had fresh water, and they were safe from attack from the Bedouins. So she gave birth here. Now, this mighty event was known about and planned. There were 3 wise men, and they were known now as Lord Cthulhu, El Moira, and Dwalkul. And they were great mage. They divined through astrology where the star was going to appear and where Jesus was going to be born. So they planned all the coordinates, worked it out, and they were there at the end of the lying-in period to greet Jesus at his birth. And then they took the news back to the Great White Brotherhood to tell them that the Messiah had been born and was safe. And so that was the story of how Jesus came into birth. And it was rather different from the way we are told. Now, his father Joseph, of course, was also an Essene, a highly evolved and educated man. And there is much, much more about Jesus' story in my spiritual novel, The Web of Light. But the whole of his life is the most extraordinary story. Everything was carefully prepared in the inner planes. His training was awesome, and his schooling, and his journeys in preparation for his mighty task of bringing in the golden Christ light of pure love. And this Christmas, remember this and bring that Christ light into your heart, and it will transform your life.